Hello everyone, this is Dr. Gatlin, and we are here to continue our preparation for our map quiz, which will occur in about 3 weeks. In this section, we will be covering the Middle East, the most explosive part of the world today, without any doubt, is the Middle East. Every nation listed under that title on your map quiz list presently has some kind of violence or impending violence or just recently ended violence occurring there. The entire region is in turmoil and has been in turmoil ever since about 1948, when the nation of Israel was created, the recreation of Israel, modern Israel, in 1948. Of course, in the Middle East today, the main religion of most people is Islam. Most of the people there are Muslims, followers of Islam. And Islam, although it began in 622 CE, 800 years before our time period, more than that, it's still with us. And Islam is today the fastest growing religion in the world. It is not the largest religion in the world, but every day more people convert to Islam than any other nation. And the implications of that for the future should be obvious. Islam was born in the year 622 here in what is known as Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, until the end of World War I, was not known as Saudi Arabia. It was only known as Arabia. The ruling family of Ibn Saud, however, was successful in taking over the government around the 1920s in Arabia, and he named the nation after himself. Ibn Saud named Arabia Saudi Arabia. Back in 622, when it was only known as Arabia, the religion of Islam was born on this peninsula in a small city by the name of Mecca. Mecca is the holiest city in the Islamic religion. In fact, if you are a Muslim, you must pray 5 times every single day in the direction of this city, or else you're not a real Muslim. Mecca. And so the beginnings of the Islamic religion are here. And it spread eastward very rapidly, and it spread westward very rapidly. And today, these people, most of these people, are still Muslims, probably more faithfully than ever. The next location on our list is a nation, Syria, largely dominated by the Islamic religion. And they're having a very nasty civil war there between basically 2 branches of the Islamic religion. Like within Christianity, there are 3 separate branches of Christianity. There's Catholic Christianity, there's Protestant Christianity, and then there is Eastern Orthodox Christianity. And historically, they haven't gotten along very well. Downright badly sometimes. The same is true of Islam. There is a section of Islam called Sunni Muslims, and then there are the Shiite Muslims. And how this split occurred, we'll talk about a little later. But right now, Syria is in turmoil. And our own American government, many people, leaders in it, especially in Congress, are saying that we should send maybe 200,000 troops. The United States should send 200,000 troops to Syria, the way we did in Iraq, the way we're doing in Afghanistan. Some say we should be doing the same thing there. And as we speak, the combat is going on here in Syria. The next important nation in the Middle East, and certainly from the standpoint geopolitically for the United States and the Western world as a whole, is Turkey. Turkey is one of the most influential Islamic nations in the world because today Turkey represents the modernizing instinct within the Islamic religion. In 1922, the Turks had come to power. Their greatest hero, his name was Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. And Atatürk, the great Turk, was the great modernizer. And he's the one that converted Turkey from being a strictly Islamic fundamentalist nation into a modern, secular democracy. It's one of the few nations in the Middle East that are like that, and therefore the Western world looks fondly upon Turkey. It's certainly a moderating power within all of the Middle East, and as we shall see as time passes in our semester, Turkey has played a very important role in the 20th century. And even to this day, in modern geopolitics. The next region, the next item that we will locate in and look at the Middle East is actually a part of the world we've already looked at. That is North Africa. Yes, North Africa appears on our map quiz twice. Why? Because all of the people of North Africa are Muslims. When Islam conquered over here in 622, it very quickly expanded by conquest to the east, Iraq, Iran, yes, of course, but also to the west. And in Arabic, in the Arabic language, the west is said Al-Maghreb. The Maghreb, to an Arab, is North Africa, the North African Islamic world. And so Al-Maghreb, the West, is a very important part of the Islamic world. Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, and Western Sahara. 80% and more of these people are Muslims, but they're located on the African continent. So are they Africans or are they Arabs? They're Muslims, but they're located on the African continent. And so their loyalties are often split. What is a Libyan? An African or a Middle Eastern? What is a Libyan's first concern, or a Tunisians, or an Algerians, or an Egyptians? The Palestine-Israel conflict, or the conflicts in Black Africa? Hunger, poverty, civil wars. What are they concerned about first? That's a very important question in today's Africa. The next item on our list, of course, very controversial, born in 1948 out of the horrors of the European Holocaust, the German Holocaust against the Jewish people, is modern Israel. We know that from about the year 70 until the year 1948, that's almost 2,000 years. The Jewish people of Israel were in exile throughout the world. Then, For reasons that we'll explain later on in the course, in 1948, the brand new reformulated Israel was born, and conflict has been with this nation ever since. Many people in this part of the world, especially the Islamic peoples, find themselves very unhappy with the present international situation in this part of the world. And we'll talk about that. The next location that we will be looking at or need to know for our map in the Middle East is Pakistan. Pakistan, of course, has a common border with India, and we will show you in some detail the conflict that exists between India and Pakistan today. Both of them have nuclear weapons, and both of them, as recently as the 2000s, have threatened to go to war with each other using their nuclear arsenal. And then lastly in the Middle East is Afghanistan. And I hope, my fellow Americans, you knew where Afghanistan, where American boys and girls were dying, are dying right now. I hope you know where that is before you got to this class. But there's Afghanistan and all of its complexities, with a common border with Pakistan and a common border on its west with Iran, and it's in conflict even as we speak. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our